So am I just getting old? It really seems like most narrative-driven games have suffered from a lack of innovation in recent years. I want to know if I'm just crazy or if there's more to this story. Let's explore what has happened to modern games and discuss what, if anything, can be done to fix it. Comparing the gaming landscape between the mid-2000s to now, it's easy to see we've lost something along the way. While graphics have seen drastic increases, it feels like some of the more creative aspects of gaming have fallen flat. While there are some big budget, high profile exceptions, it really feels like today's indie scene is producing more interesting experiences than our AAA blockbusters. To put a frame of reference to this, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas with an IGN score of 9.6, Halo 2 with a score of 9.8, Spider-Man 2 with a score of 8.8, Star Wars Battlefront with a score of 7.5, Half-Life 2 with a score of 9.7 were all released in 2004 alone. We just don't see big years like this anymore, creating games that all become classics for years and even decades after their releases. And by the way, I just had to look up the winner. The game of the year 2004 was Half-Life 2. But every studio at the time was at the top of their game, doing their best to push the boundaries of gaming forward. Franchises like Splinter Cell attempted to reinvent the stealth genre. They introduced a new standard for lighting physics that hadn't been seen up to that point. The Halo franchise effectively created the console FPS with their first game, then used its second and third titles to up the ante in its storytelling and multiplayer capabilities. The Grand Theft Auto series was pushing the boundaries of open-world story-driven experiences with each release. But before we can discuss what to do about the state of gaming today, we have to answer one important question: what happened? The video game industry has grown from a budding and creative media form into a... Maybe I should look up the real amount. Oh my god. Alright, up. $300 billion. To a $300 billion industry that is now a staple of all corporate entertainment. Years like 2004 were among the industry's growing phases, and in the time since, it's really embraced the concept of pleasing the shareholder. Corporate America gained an understanding of just how much money there is to be made within this industry, and with these vast amounts of money on the line when creating a new game, the ability to take risks has been taken from the creative forces within studios. Executives are more interested in making money than good games. And with those executives making the large decisions, the incentive to reinvent the wheel and push gaming forward is very low. Very few game studios truly let their writers and artists take risks in what's being created. Also, studios are increasingly pressured to create games that do it all, that have great stories and single-player experiences, multiplayers that are fun and attention-grabbing, also being expected by fans to ship with community tools and everything a game would need to be on par with the past of its franchise. While also then the requirements of creating an endlessly monetized system, forever content, always something new to come out. This pressure suffocates a development team into creating all of the half-baked games we see releasing today. The saying, "the jack of all trades is a master of none," really applies here. No studio is going to do what Halo or Call of Duty was able to accomplish in 2007 with all of this pressure to create an endlessly monetizable product. We've seen this pressure nearly destroy franchises that used to be cash cows for their publishers. Ubisoft forced the Splinter Cell franchise to lose its soul and fade away, despite having a dedicated fan base eager for more. Halo eventually became a trend-chasing, run-of-the-mill FPS after years of creative stagnation, although having a lore so detailed and interesting, their whole YouTube channel is dedicated to it. That's why the best games we see today are strictly single-player experiences, from studios that were allowed the ability to breathe and take risks in their storytelling. Games that are separated from the pressure of being a do-it-all game that dilutes the experience of its originality. Even then, some of these games receive criticisms for being uninspiring with aspects like their core gameplay, as some of these franchises such as Grand Theft Auto, Red Dead Redemption, and The Last of Us use the same core gameplay loop that they have for decades. I think the solution lies in something I've mentioned throughout this video, and that's risk. These large publishers need to learn to trust their artists that they have create these games. To them, this concept can be seen as a risk, and somewhat understandably, though with how much money goes into creating these games. But playing it safe, or rushing the development to make a deadline comes with its own costs and risks. Games such as Mass Effect Andromeda and the original release of Cyberpunk 2077 should have sent a clear message to all developers and should have scared the quality back into single-player games. Looking at the state of some video games, especially from some larger studios, it can really seem as though some of the executives from these companies feel that they are too big to fail. That as long as the name of a beloved franchise is on the cover, that it's destined to be a hit, regardless of the effort and time they allow the developers to make the game with. Like releasing games that are broken upon launch, even single players that release like this, and trusting that the community is just okay with a game being unplayable. And maybe it just seems like some of these games should fail, and we should send a message with our feedback and our money about what we really want in a video game. But I want to ask, what are your solutions to the problem? Are we doomed to have completed video games forever? Share your thoughts in the comments, and thanks for watching.